Hey guys, Joanne here with Newegg TV. I'm here to do an overview on these NZXT Phantom 630 full tower computer cases in matte black, white, and gunmetal. I'll be going over the white version since it's easier to see everything, and this white version comes in a glossy finish, steel with some plastic, and it measures 9.65 inches wide, 24.69 inches tall, and 23.62 inches deep. At the front, behind this magnetic door, we have your 4 5¼ inch drive bays. It pops off easily, just give me a second, just like this. And above that is your SD card reader. It supports SDHC and SDXC cards. Below this, we have your pre-installed 200mm fan and some mesh grill in the front for ventilation. You also get mounting points for, if you remove this fan, for two 140mm or two 120mm fans. Oh, and down here is a removable dust filter. Yay! Now on the side, we have a window so you can see into your internal components, as well as a pre-installed 200mm side fan with mesh ventilation. On the rear is a pre-installed 140mm fan. There is also a mounting point for a 120mm fan. And what's cool about this is you can move the fan up or down according to the location of the CPU cooler. And next to that is a knockout for your input-output shield for your motherboard, an LED illumination light so you can see the rear ports, and 9 expansion slots, some more ventilation holes here, and a bottom power supply mount. Oh, and there is also a removable dust filter here. And the max PSU clearance is up to 9.2 inches deep. And if you can see inside, we have some raised rubberized feet to help reduce vibration as well as increase airflow. I'm going to remove the front panel so you can get a look inside. Here we go. Oh, yes. And the front fan comes with its own dust filter. Alright, here is a look at your 200mm fan. And your bays, this is where your SD card reader is. Oh, and I want to mention that you can mount a radiator up to 240mm between the hard drive cage and the fan. At the top of the case, we have plenty of ventilation holes, and beneath that, a pre-installed 200mm fan with its own dust filter. There's another dust filter next to that in case you wish to install a second one. So as for mounts, you get you can either mount two 200mm fans or two 140 or three 120mm fans. And it has a radiator support of up to 360mm long. And in this area, we have two USB 3.0 ports, two USB 2.0 ports, your headphone microphone jacks, and here is the button to turn off your rear I/O LED. This is your 30-watt single-channel fan controller with 3 speeds. And this is your power button and reset button, and some case LED. On the bottom, we have some raised rubberized feet to reduce vibration as well as increase airflow. And these are the 2 filters that I showed you earlier. There are some more stripe ventilation here for you for where the power supply sits. And next to that, we have mounting points for either two 140mm or two 120mm fans. If you could see through this, there is a bottom tray inside the case. If the tray is removed, you'll be able to install a radiator up to 280mm long. I've removed the thumb screws for the right side panel, so let's go ahead and take a look. Here is a large cutout for your aftermarket heatsink. We have plenty of rubber grommets as well as holes to route your cables and a lot of tie-down points all over the place to manage all of those cables. There's also space, a lot of space between the motherboard tray and the right side panel, specifically 36.6mm. Over here we have mounting points for two 2.5-inch drives behind the motherboard tray, and above that is a fan hub for the single channel fan controller at the top of the case. Can power up to 10 fans, and we currently have the rear, the front, and the top fans connected to it. Now let's move along to this side. We have 6 3.5-inch as well as 2.5-inch drive mounts. Before we take a look at the interior, here is a look at your side fan with its 3-pin connector. Let me go ahead and set this down. Here is another look at your rear 140mm fan. And let me go ahead and tilt this so you can take a look at your top 200mm fan. Let me tilt this back down. And over here are a bunch of your front panel connectors. Let me just go through these first. These are your power reset LED plugs. And here's a 3-pin header for your side fan, so it can also be connected to the fan controller. And what is this? USB 2.0 connector. I believe this is your audio. And here's your 20-pin USB 3.0 header. One last thing is this Molex plug that powers the case LEDs as well as the fan speed controller and the rear I/O LED. Now, to the right, we have your 4 5.25-inch drive bays. It's toolless design. It's very secure once you push it down. And below that, your 3 fully modular drive cages. You can set them in different configurations. For example, you can put a cage here and have 2 here, or just not have the top one at all. And this is the tray, bottom tray that I mentioned earlier. If removed, you'll be able to set up that bottom radiator. And this case is compatible with ATX, Micro ATX, Mini ATX, and XL ATX motherboards. You get a max video card clearance of 12.8 inches with the cage in place and 19.96 inches without the top cage. And as for your CPU cooler clearance, you get 6.69 inches as well, and also 7.87 inches without the side fan, if you wish to remove that fan. And one last thing I wanted to mention is this this pivot mount for a 120 or 140mm fan, so you get some directional airflow. Here's a quick 360 of the matte black version. Now for a look at the gunmetal gray. Now for a look at the accessories. We have your user manual, as well as a look at NZXT's other products. And here's some cable ties, various mounting screws, which are all individually labeled. And you can refer back to the user manual so you know what's what. That wraps up our overview on these NZXT Phantom 630 full tower computer cases. I'm Joanne, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to our Newegg YouTube channel. Thanks for watching Newegg TV, and we'll see you next time.